Hello guys. So I'm going to title this video, while you guys stock gold and silver, I don't. I stack lead. So there are a lot of people, a lot of preppers out there, financial preppers, doomsday preppers, whatever. They will stock things to, hedge their bets, hedge their savings. I like to stock on other items that I find that are probably just as valuable in some aspects and could be used for immediate use. So, as you can see, we've got a pretty decent variety of different kinds of ammo. And then the other three things I have back here is sugar, salt, and honey. All items which could actually be worth their own weight in gold if we ever got into a real serious crisis. And while having gold and silver is fine and dandy for trade and barter purposes, assuming you can trade and barter it, let me tell you something about your gold and silver. You can't eat your gold and silver. There's really not a whole lot of use for it besides hedging your bets in a potential financial economic meltdown. Aside from that, that's about all it's good for. It's just maintaining your wealth status, monetary wealth status, I should say. Whereas like the salt, the sugar, and the honey, those got pretty decent uses right there. Actually, all of them, those are. So obviously, you could eat all of those. You can, like I said, you can use it for trade or barter, and all of them actually have can be used in medical applications. Okay, and of course, you could, if you wanted to, eat a. Now, you could potentially eat a bullet if you wanted to, but you only do that once. But that's not me. So, got different kinds of ammo here. Got 45, both, and these are all hollow points. I do have some ball ammo at home. I got Remington on the left and some Winchester on the right. Some 230 grain Winchester, and that right there is a 130 grain Remington. And then, of course, I got, I guess I more or less bought these more of a novelty idea. But I got some 45 auto shot shells. These are for pest control, sometimes referred to as a snake shot. And got some 5.56 NATO green tip 62 grain armor piercing rounds. These are by PMC X-Tac. And of course, got some Winchester shotgun shells, 2 3/4 inch. These ones are actually just lead slugs. And then we got some Winchester combination double-aught buckshot and slug. So basically, it's got 3 pieces of double-aught buckshot sitting on top of a lead slug. I'm actually kind of surprised these ones aren't copper plated. Usually they copper plate the buckshot. But yeah, these are, like I said, these are my items that I mostly stockpile. I am very, very seriously considering starting to stack silver. I've got other things I got to take care of before I consider doing that, but I would like to start stacking silver. I'm not ruling that out entirely, but these items are slightly cheaper, and honest to God, actually these items I'm presenting to you, none of them have any real expiration date. They've got a borderline infinite shelf life, as long as you got them stored in the correct conditions. Like Honey, I find it a joke that they'll put an expiration date on honey. Honey does not expire. Honey, they have recovered honey from King Tut's tomb and found out it was still edible. So I was like, what, 5,000-6,000 years ago? Unbelievable. And then salt, come on, really? They put an expiration on salt. Now what you see on that I've got on my stuff here, I actually write down the dates I purchased some of my stuff, like food items. Not really so much on the ammo. Ammo really doesn't matter. I know there are debates out there saying that ammo itself will eventually degrade and go bad. I guess I've never had that issue yet. I would imagine ammo is going to be pretty much like the salt, the sugar, and the honey. As long as you got it stored in the correct environment, like it's stored in a cool, dry environment with a constant, regular temperature, something that, you know, temperature that doesn't get too hot or too cold, and again does not expose the ammo to moisture. I don't see this stuff degrading all that much, to be honest with you. I would imagine, I'd be willing to bet that a lot of this ammo will still be good 20, 30, hell, probably even 40 or 50 years down the road, still good, as long as I keep it cool and dry, and like I said, stored in just normal ambient temperatures. As part of the reason why they invented cellars back in the day, you know, why they had cellars, why every house had a root cellar, because a root cellar typically maintained a normal constant temperature of, like, usually right around 50 or 60 degrees almost year round, even during the hot blazing summer months. And like, there's nothing really special about a root cellar. Just, it's in the ground, and whatever the ambient temperature of the ground is typically what the ambient temperature of the root cellar stays at. That's why people are able to store vegetables for as long as they could. Vegetables and grains in root cellars. Anyhow, I digress. But yes, these are the items I'd store for SHTF. These are items I would consider potentially doing some trade and barter with. I know some people say would not advise trading and bartering ammo. And yes, I agree. I probably wouldn't do that either, especially with strangers. But if things got bad enough and I really desperately needed to top off on something to keep me alive or keep a family member alive, or I don't know, I ran out of some sort of medical supply or something like that, I could definitely trade somebody any of these items for what I needed. You know, if I needed to acquire some of that gold and silver that the gold and silver stackers have been stacking, I could potentially sell my items for their gold and their silver. But anyhow, yep, this is what I got. You guys have yourselves a good one, and I am out.